Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Alex Alvern and it's time for another anime review. It's finally here everyone. ReZero is back with a vengeance as the first episode of season 2 just debuted. We have some major developments happening. The last season ended on a relatively high note with some good closure. Villains are defeated. Our main white knight, Sir Simp, successfully slayed the evil wizards and rescued his waifu, who finally acknowledges him. And all is well in the land with twinkly stars and rainbows. Enter season 2, everyone dies and Rem is cancelled. Sorry Subaru, your nightmare continues. Let's talk about this. The biggest difference between season 1 and season 2 is Rem went from chopping vegetables to becoming a vegetable. You know what they say, you are what you eat. I think it's pretty clear why they had to kill Arav. Now that the main character actually got the girl that he wanted, we can't have his previous lady friends be gunning to get back into the running and give him merely a competition, especially considering the deep history that Rem and Subaru shared towards the end of the last season. Even though Rem pretty much flat out said that she's totally fine with being Subaru's booty call. She went on this long monologue during the fight about how Subaru will come to save her and stop these two new villains that appeared. But even though he's done some pretty spectacular things, the guy's still super weak if you think about it. I know he has the power to respawn at his last save point, but it'll be interesting to see what he can actually do against foes this powerful. He should be careful though, lest the enemy discovers his power to respawn and just keeps him alive but breaks his legs. He could become like everyone's least favorite character from Game of Thrones, Bran Stark, the useless vegetable who lives in the past. As the battle broke out between Maid Waifu and these two Sin Archbishops, let's call them Sin Bish, it was pretty clear from the beginning that she stood absolutely zero chance. Oh, you sweet summer child, may you enter a long and dreamless slumber. The anime actually did something that was super sneaky. Most people probably didn't catch it. As Gluttony chomps down and begins eating Rem's memories, we see these snippets of, could it be, adult Rem? I haven't read the manga, but from what I've seen, it looks like this is probably snippets of the route that would have happened had Subaru actually decided to run away with the Rem at that last inflection point in season 1. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point the anime decides to make an OVA special of this separate timeline, or maybe even taking the route of Fate Stay Night in Unlimited Blade Works, and just have an entirely different alternate timeline spin-off series altogether. These two new villain characters, Greed and Gluttony, also look oddly familiar. Where have we seen them before? Oh right, Full Metal Alchemist, anyone? It looks like a little bit of a ripoff, but hey, FMA didn't exactly invent the concept of 7 deadly sins, so it's fair game for others. And I don't really care that much because unlike harems, this concept isn't overly used in anime yet. Seriously, these guys are crazy powerful. I would say crazy overpowered. Having had their 400-year-old pet turned into sushi, they came out pissed and guns blazing. They seemed more pissed than Joe Exotic was at Carol Baskin when she sued him for everything he owns. They literally turned the strongest characters that we've seen in the series to date into a dragon smoothie topped with stolen memory sprinkles. And while we're on the topic of the white whale, it's revealed that one of the main antagonists of the last season was just a pet. Talk about a good way to introduce the next power level of villain. Changing gears, I was pretty optimistic that this isekai wouldn't go the harem route, like so many other isekais do, as it wasn't too obvious with season 1, although there were elements of it here and there. But now with even Petra calling dibs on Subaru, I'm just hoping that they squash this nonsense immediately. Not only are harems not cool, but neither is pedophilia. And is anyone else's new favorite character the doctor from that scene where he was taking care of Rem's body on the ground? Subaru just comes up and starts giving him all this lip, and he just whips out the I'm a head out SpongeBob beam. He doesn't need your back talk, Subaru. He went to medical school. I do have to say, it's pretty impressive that our main character can commit Sudoku so easily now. Even if he knows that he's gonna respawn anyway, it's still gotta hurt pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie though, my blood pressure went through the roof during this scene. I was ready to just flip the table and say F it if we had to go all the way back and see him fight against Beetlejuice once again. Isn't there a cheat code where if you just say his name 3 times, he's supposed to go away? We also have an interesting philosophical concept come up with Krush, as she discusses the future of the Alliance with her other characters. We find out that she's sort of like the opposite of Rem, right? Where everyone still remembers her, but she doesn't remember anything about herself. And even though she's lost her memories and is a lot more soft-spoken now that she doesn't have the confidence of knowing all the details and the nuances of the situation, a lot of her characteristics and deep character traits are still there, which raises the question of, is our personality based on the experiences that we've been through, or is it something deeper than that that's just deeply ingrained in the core essence of who we are? That's a question I'll leave for philosophers much smarter than I, but it's still fun to think about. We have this tear-jerking scene at the end where Subaru is closely eyeing the knife on the table, probably contemplating an attempt to commit Sudoku again, and then enter Emilia, all like, "Don't worry, senpai, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. I'll shoulder it with you," which honestly doesn't mean jack diddly. Like, sure, she says that, but she really hasn't done all that much that's been useful yet. And it's been Subaru having to drive everything, himself up to this point. Biggest question I have from this entire episode, where in Sweet Lord's name is Roswaal? The dude left for some meeting halfway through the last season, and literally an all-out war between different factions, a giant whale, the witches cult, and 3 Sin archbishops break out, with his core staff getting slaughtered several times over if we count the other timelines. And all this happens on his property. You'd think that if he's the lord of an entire estate, nay, a village even, he could afford a $30 a month subscription to SimpliSafe and keep an eye on his property. He's like the textbook dad who left to the store to get milk and just never came back until his kids are middle-aged. I haven't read the manga, but I'm willing to bet that he has a much bigger role to play in all this, perhaps as a final boss or something. Well, there you have it, friends. In a one-sentence summary recap, Rem is a potato, Emilia wants to give Subaru her potatoes, Gluttony wants to eat everybody's potatoes, and Roswaal left to the store real quick to just buy some potatoes. He'll be right back. Also, hang on, real quick. If it's a known fact that if the white whale consumes the existence of people that it eats and then everybody's supposed to forget about them, 1, how would anyone actually discover this? There should be no cases of that happening, since nobody would even remember those people existed anyway, therefore they wouldn't know that somebody disappeared. And 2, how has nobody questioned how Subaru is remembering Rem when not a single other person or spirit can, including Puck, including her sister? Since it looks like not even Puck can remember her, who's a spirit, I don't see how anybody's not suspicious that Subaru suddenly knows who this person is. I'm willing to overlook this plot hole for now, but I do hope that at some point they address it. But either way, as much as I rag on it, this show is actually pretty fantastic. I'm so excited that season 2 is finally here. I thoroughly enjoyed season 1. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I can't wait for the next episode to come out. I'll probably be doing weekly episode reviews for this show. And once we get all the first episodes of this new summer anime season done, I'll be releasing a video on what I think are the best animes to watch this new summer season, so be sure to stay tuned for that. All right, that's it for today, everyone. Please comment below what you thought of the episode. Do you like that they canceled Rem and put her in a coma? Do you think that this will increase or decrease sales of Rem merch? Do you think this opens the door for other characters to be developed? Most importantly, which Gluttony do you think did it better, ReZero or Full Metal Alchemist? Let me know all your wonderful thoughts down below in the comments. I genuinely want to hear from you. Also, if you want to support me in creating more content like this, please do leave a like, subscribe, and be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified of my future videos. I'll be releasing a lot more stuff pretty frequently and would love for you to check out my new videos. Thanks again for the love. I'm Alex Sovereign. I'll see you in the next one.